So in this feature today, I'm taking you through, I guess, what you could call a stroll through Tivoli Gardens. In the summer of 2012, I had the opportunity to be in Copenhagen, and one of the sites on my to-do list, one of two major sites, was Tivoli. And Tivoli, for me, as someone who's been studying theme and amusement parks for, I don't know, nearly 20 or more years, it's really on my map because it's the type of park that we typically call an amusement park. And you can differentiate it from theme parks in that it's really striving to preserve a sense of traditional entertainment. And I think what makes it so interesting and unique in today's day and age of theme parks and other theme spaces is the fact that it's doing some things that theme parks do well, such as rides, attractions, restaurants, family entertainment, all kinds of things for members of the family of all ages to see. But at the same time, it's preserving its sense of heritage, its tradition. It was opened in 1843, and as an attraction in Europe today, it's the fourth most popular theme or amusement park, behind Disneyland Paris and a few other theme parks. And so in this sense, I think you could say Tivoli could be viewed as an anachronism, as a throwback to how parks used to be. If you visit Blackpool Pleasure Beach in England, as one other example, you see much of the same, where there's an emphasis on tradition, old rides and structures and a sense of heritage that really brings back the past. But what Tivoli does nice, and you see it here, is really to emphasize natural landscape. There's a sense of beauty as you walk through the park, so even if you don't like rides very much, you can still enjoy the natural landscape, the fountains, the flowers, landscape architecture. And here, of course, we do have the visceral rides. For any amusement or theme park, you want to have rides that throw people around, that move their bodies in new ways, and that preserve that tradition of what George Tilliou and others did at Steeplechase Park in the Coney Island era parks over 100 years ago in New York. But Tivoli, again, to look at some of these scenes here in an amazing way, really develops landscape and gives you a sense of the brilliance of landscape and how it can be used to really attract people, to put them in a serene sort of spirit. One other thing I wanted to mention about Tivoli's founder, George Carstensen, was one of his statements, and I think if you hear this statement, you might be quite surprised. In fact, it sounds something like what Walt Disney said of Disneyland. But in 1844, Carstensen said the following. He said, "Tivoli will never, so to speak, be finished." And we see that today, all these years later, where people are still coming and visiting this amazing amusement park for all the value that it brings. And it's something we shouldn't forget in the world of new theme parks and amusement spaces, is that you still can offer family entertainment, a sense of heritage, a sense of tradition, and in this case, really develop your natural features to a full extent. In this particular clip, I am speaking, but it turned out at the time I didn't have the microphone on, so note to self to really remember to turn on the microphone when I'm doing a site visit. But I was commenting here on the fountain feature just near the entrance of Tivoli Gardens and how it's effectively used to draw people in to performance spaces, to some wonderful shops and restaurants and so forth. Here's the second clip where I again forgot to have my microphone on. But what I was talking about here, although Tivoli is not a traditional theme park with its theme lands, you do have a section off here of one section of the park to the next. So we're going to be moving in here through sort of the Japanese features into many of the incredible rides that Tivoli offers. And I'm just pointing this out and talking about sort of the idea of thresholds and gateways that can be used to move people through. So if you get a chance and you're in Copenhagen, definitely visit Tivoli. And I will close with this, just some images of the natural landscape of some of the beauty that they've created here. Amazing gardens that you could see anywhere in the world, but the way that Tivoli does them, I think, is quite spectacular, particularly as they welcome the family and they welcome people of all ages to come and enjoy the beauty of the gardens, the amazement of the rides, and the variety of entertainment. So a really fun stroll here through Tivoli Gardens, and I recommend a visit if you get the chance.